In today's episode, we are going to talk about the locust monster sent to Earth by Satan himself. We will be discussing the appearance of these horrific creatures, how long they will stay on Earth, what they will do, and much more. So make sure to watch till the end. Where does the locust monster appear? And to find this out, we need to go to Revelation chapter 9. It is written, "Then from the smoke, locusts were going to harm all the people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads, and they were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them." In order to understand where the locusts come from, we need to look at the previous verse. Verse 2 says, "And the smoke rose from the mouth of the dragon, from the mouth of the beast, and from the mouth of the false prophet, and it rose up over the earth. And behold, a great hail, fire and brimstone rained down upon the locusts. And the locusts were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. They were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone." So here we see the locusts coming out of the smoke. And we know from verse 2 that the smoke comes from the dragon, which is Satan, the beast, and the false prophet. Therefore, we can conclude that the locusts are demonic in origin. If we look at the previous chapter, chapter 8, verse 9, we see another similar event happening. It is written, "Then the angel swung his burning torch toward the earth, and it fell on the Euphrates River, turning it into blood. And he was given power to torment the people for 5 months, but not to kill them, and to torment them like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone." Both in chapter 8 and chapter 9, we see something similar happening. Some kind of tormentor comes out of smoke and causes pain and suffering. But the difference between these two is that in chapter 8, we have an angel doing this. And in chapter 9, we have locusts, which are demonic. This indicates that when the seal of God is broken, Satan and his demons rebel against God and send their destructive forces onto the earth. And this aligns with the idea that the beginning of the Great Tribulation starts after the 7th seal is opened. Now, where exactly does the smoke rise from? It rises from the abyss, and the word abyss means bottomless pit. This refers to hell itself. So the smoke rises from hell, which implies that the locusts also originate from hell. In fact, John even mentions a king in hell. He says, "Then from the smoke came a locust monster." That's what I want to focus on in this video. But John goes on to say, "Then I saw a king on the beast. His name was and will be Abaddon, or Apocalyptic, the destroyer." This means that the locusts obey a king, and this king's name means destroyer. Now let's talk about the appearance of this locust monster. What did it look like? To answer this question, we need to look at verses 7, 8, and 10. It is written, "Now the locusts which I saw are like horses prepared for battle. They had human faces, and each of them had 10 horns and 10 crowns upon their heads. Their faces were like human faces, and they had hair like women's hair, braided and adorned with jewels. They had teeth like lions, and their claws were like the claws of bears. They were also very heavy, like very heavy wagons, and they made a sound like an army of cavalry when they stamped their feet, like the trampling of thousands of chariots and horsemen. They had wings like a bird, each of them having 4 wings, and they flew like locusts. And they had tails like scorpions, and on their tails they had stingers like the sting of a scorpion. And in their sting they had the power to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them." First, John describes the locusts as horses prepared for battle. This suggests strength, power, and readiness for destruction. Then, he describes their faces as human, which adds a disturbing twist to their appearance. Having human faces indicates a level of intelligence and consciousness. making their actions more sinister. Each locust had 10 horns and 10 crowns, symbolizing power, dominion, and perhaps even royalty in the context of their demonic nature. John then describes their hair like women's hair, but adorned with jewels, which seems to suggest vanity and perhaps a deceptive, alluring aspect. Their teeth are compared to lions, known for their fierceness and predatory nature. Their claws are like bear claws, highlighting their strength and destructive potential. The sound they make is described as that of a cavalry charging into battle, emphasizing their aggressive and warlike nature. Their wings enable them to fly like locusts, adding to their otherworldly and menacing appearance. Finally, their tails are like scorpions, with stingers capable of causing torment. This detail emphasizes their ability to inflict pain and suffering, which is their primary purpose during the tribulation period. Now, why does the locust monster have a scorpion tail? Well, the reason is stated in the text itself. It is written, "And on their tails they had stingers, like the sting of a scorpion. And in their sting they had the power to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them." The scorpion tail allows the locusts to torment the people on earth. Their sting acts like a burning laser beam, causing intense pain and torment for those it touches. Now, what is the command given to the locust monster? In verse 11, we read, "They were allowed to torment for 5 months, but not to kill them, and their torment was like the torment of a scorpion." When it stings someone, this shows that they have a limited time frame within which they can carry out their mission. They have no power to kill anyone, because only God has that authority. But their ability to cause immense suffering is almost as bad as killing. Now, what is the symbolism of the locust monster? These creatures represent destructive spiritual forces or divine judgments sent by God. They could symbolize Satan's attempt to deceive and harm humanity during the final period of human history. Another possible meaning is that they embody the fears and anxieties associated with apocalyptic events. The image of a creature combining elements of insects, humans, and animals creates a sense of horror and revulsion. Let's now discuss the fear and horror inspired by the locust monster. Imagine being plagued by swarms of these creatures, each with the face of a man, the wings of a bird, the stinger of a scorpion, and the ability to torment you for months on end. Their presence alone would evoke terror and despair. The sheer otherworldly nature of these creatures makes them horrifying. The combination of insect, human, and animal traits creates a disturbing and unnatural image. Furthermore, their ability to inflict pain and suffering without actually killing their victims adds to the sense of helplessness and dread. People would be at the mercy of these creatures, unable to escape their grasp. The psychological impact of living in constant fear and torment caused by the locusts would be devastating. The mental anguish and trauma they inflict become a form of torture. In conclusion, the locust monster, described in Revelation chapter 9, is a terrifying and enigmatic creature. With its frightening appearance, demonic origin, scorpion-like tail, and ability to cause unimaginable torment, it serves as a powerful symbol of the horrors that await us during the end times. Understanding the symbolism and significance of this locust monster allows us to gain insight into the challenges and tribulations that lie ahead. May we find strength and solace in knowing that despite the darkness and suffering that may befall us, God remains in control and offers hope for eventual deliverance. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the end-time events, make sure to check out the playlist. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and become a member of our channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to stay curious and keep seeking the truth.